Hey everyone, this is James from TDB bringing you another episode. Today I am going to not be drinking tea, but going to be talking about tea, particularly in terms of getting acclimated to bitterness. I think this is probably a particularly relevant episode for Pu'erh drinkers. In fact, there is a Marshall post that I should link to if I remember that talks about getting immune to bitter tea. And I noticed this recently for myself. I have been drinking a lot of Pu'erh recently, like a particularly high amount. And my wife commented that the tea I'd been brewing for her was too strong. And for me, it didn't taste too strong at all. And it just let me know that my tastes have slowly kind of gone to a place where you get used to those base notes, which for Pu'erh is often fairly bitter, and you kind of can taste past those and do different things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all, but it does make you kind of lose sight of what a person that's not drinking that tea as regularly might taste and drink and enjoy, which is important because, like, if you're serving tea to someone else, you want them to enjoy the tea as well. You don't want them to find it too strong or too overpowering. So that just lets me to know to scale back. And of course, this has happened to me actually several times. It's happened to me before we're married. It's happened to me when we're married at different points. And sometimes my tastes are fairly aligned, perhaps when I'm drinking a little bit more of a balanced diet or maybe a little bit less tea, more ripe, or something like that, where you can kind of acquire and reacquire that taste. But let me know that I am brewing the tea strong. I've been brewing a lot of Pu'erh, and I've been brewing it strong accordingly. So it's interesting because I actually had the opposite experience with Denny, who is, of course, also drinking a whole lot of Pu'erh recently, too. He's really kind of rededicated himself this year. So much so that I'm the one that is a little bit more sensitive to bitterness than him. And, of course, that sensitivity to bitterness is probably still probably less than the normal person. It's just something to really note. I think when it comes to Pu'erh, it can be kind of an acquired taste. And being able to taste past those notes is kind of a big important thing just to understand and to kind of recognize that dynamic. I had the opposite happen to my friend, who is actually a Pu'erh drinker too, and this let me know that I've really been going quite hard on it. Is he drinks Pu'erh quite regularly as well, and he commented that something like a 24-year-old Taiwanese stored chung was pretty bitter to him. I was like, oh really? It's not too bitter to me at all. So yeah, I don't doubt his notes whatsoever. It's just the fact that I'm probably brewing the tea a bit strong for what it is. So it's fine to do it for yourself if that's what you want, but it's something to just really note that your palate definitely gets used to certain things. Certainly when you kind of get in shape with the tea, where you're really drinking a certain type of tea a lot, I think that's really great for tasting distinctive notes for a tea. So being able to differentiate a 2003 production from the same vendor of the same thing versus a 2004, I think being able to detect those is really, when you're kind of in shape, it's good. But you also can kind of forget about what tea tastes like for the normal people too, that aren't drinking the same tea diet that you are. So yeah, that just concludes some thoughts that I had getting acclimated to bitterness. So thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Cheers.